Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om
Everything is there only. And somebody raised this question. You said silence of the eyes. Silence, in one of the quotations Papa used to say, look without seeing, hear without, listen without hearing, eat without tasting. It can't be explained. You are seeing it, but you are not seeing the way, seeing with the perspective normally we see it others. We are seeing the reality behind it. Silencing the seeing means it is not that we are not seeing. We are silencing the pattern of seeing. We see it as an object other than us. We see it as an object other than God. We see it as a situation other than God. We see a person other than God. That is what happens now. So silencing the seeing means we are only seeing Him. No ripples. When we view it from the individual level, everything gets topsy-turvy. Just start thinking now. Whenever you are seeing things from the individual level, conflict starts, disagreement starts, disharmony starts. But the moment we raise ourselves to a higher level than the individual, absolutely nothing. So as a spiritual aspirant, as a devotee, our trial, our efforts are, the entire efforts are to see Him or see an object, go through a situation with the dimension of God. We need not think we will have the same attitude when we go to a temple, when we meet a guru, when we, what sort of an attitude, the same attitude will be there with all objects. No. It can never happen. To each and every object, to each we react differently. I am the same individual and I have got all my 5 sense organs. The 5 sense organs do not act in the same manner. But I am the Karta. Just think about it. So the moment we say, when Papa said, I find Him everywhere, it will be with the same perspective. No, it can never be. But we know that it is all an expression of Him, that's all. So each one will be handled in a way that will connect us to Him. It need not be in the form of namaskar. We don't have to do namaskar to the toilet. I mean, what do you call it? Closet. We don't have to do namaskar to the wash basin. Though we do namaskar to the image. But at the same time, when we clean it, when we wash it with a heart full of gratitude, that is how we see His hand. He has provided. He has come in this form. He has made me to use it. That's all. So let us not confuse this. That when we say, I find Him everywhere, it will be the same attitude. Certainly not. But the base factor will be there, that He is the reality. So whether it is breathing, whether it is akshara, whether it is shabda, whether it is school, first and the most tangible, palpable thing is we develop a sense of gratitude to Him. It is true, I am not aware of your breathing always, but I now know without breathing I don't exist. Gandhiji used to say, simple faith, that is enough. That simple faith is enough. Only because of day for yesterday, we saw that the Panchapranas, how beautifully they have divided among themselves 5 fundamental activities: prano, upana, vyana, udana, samana. Prana, apana, udana, pranopana, vyano, udana, samana. 5 different types of activity that are going on in our body. We did not divide it. We did not assign them. But how the moment when we came from the mother's womb, how that mysterious power who came in the form of breath, prana, assumed the role of 5 pranas and started acting beautifully, coordinating, without making a murmur, without making themselves aware, without making us aware of their presence. That is the beauty. Without making us aware of their wonderful fundamental functions. So then we immediately pray, we immediately feel gratitude, because if these 5 activities are not going on, as an individual, I cannot exist. But without even making the sense of individuality aware of it, you are silently doing this wonderful activity. We develop a sense of gratitude. Inward, internally, but also it will aid us to gradually help us to see Him outward. So outward activity should be compatible. Compatible means what? It should be in line with it. In conformity with. In one way they say you love everything. There is a loving touch while handling everything. Trying to free ourselves from the conceptual presence. which becomes expressive in the form of mine, rights and wrongs, my rights and wrongs, my preferences, my priorities, my assertions, my preconceived notions, my ambition, my weakness, my insecurity and all that. It's a tough job. Easy to say, tough job. But we should first identify, diagnose. Immediately after we take the medicine, none of us get in. It has to be done. A course should be undertaken. Along with the medicine, we also follow certain supplementary or complementary factors. With all that, we slowly get over. Similarly, we have to try, keep on trying. One method is prayer, to develop gratitude. And when we read, I find him everywhere, it is to we take it. It can be in a different way. We take it that it is to develop by knowing what all he has provided us with. Our assertion, the area of assertion will become less and less. We now know that we are enjoying everything because of him only. That is why he specifically named that which is entwined with our daily life. So then he says, for the move toward the indwelling aspect, we have to take we try to develop a new relationship to all objects, persons and situations, leading us in seeing the value dimension lying dormant in all those, and finally resulting in discovering the source of values as the universal truth. We have been trying to understand the Akshara. With that background, we have been trying to understand the relevance of Shabda, breathing, and yesterday school. Today, Prabhupada says, what is that word in Thus Speaks Ramdas? In classroom, Thus Speaks Ramdas. Those who are having it, may kindly look last but one page. It is also there on the second page, but more elaborate in the 57th page. Here Papa says, we have to recognize that beyond the exterior dynamics of the body and mind, there is within man the spirit which is immortal. It is by the power of the spirit that our life is activated in its manifold expressions in the classroom, hospital, office, marketplace, factory and field, as well as in temple, church, mosque, ashram. We should tune ourselves with the spirit. So today we will try to dwell more and more on the marketplace. What does it teach us? How am I to see this? From the individual, not from the individual standpoint. I am trying to raise myself from the individual standpoint and then see it. First of all, when you go to the market, there can be so many, Each one has to think and find out some thoughts. The first teaching, we take it. The three essential factors, contributing factors for a market. It teaches. There should be a producer, there should be a trader, there should be a consumer. And market is the place where we find all of them join. The producer is represented by the, articles, production. Trader is there in the form of the particular. You are there in the form of a consumer. So I just go and buy. No, I will start thinking now. Behind everything that is marketed there, these two factors are there, about which I know but I don't know. If that is not there, I will not be able to get those. Somebody should produce, either in a field or in a factory. And somebody should be there to bring it all the way from the producer's level and make it available to the consumer level. Then only I can buy it. So first question, interdependence, a wonderful value. And this slowly next leads to the origin, process, and finally the finished product stage of a variety of products. When we go to market, we don't buy one. Whether we buy it or not, we see so many products. Each one is reminding us of its origin. When you say the origin, immediately the sloga in the Bhagavad Gita will come to us. Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. I am the eternal seed of everything. So whatever is there, the seed material, let it be anything. Then there is a process, A seed by itself does not produce this. It has to be subjected through a process. If it is food items or agricultural produces, it has to be sown, nurtured, watered, developed. And then it should be harvested, dried, processed, cleaned, winnowing, everything should be over. Packed. There is a process behind it. At the time of buying, we need not. But let us now try to understand. When we go to the bazaar and buy a thing, we were not aware of it. Now we are aware of its origin, the process, and finally the finished product stage. And not only one. You see the variety. Again we would try to remember Papa's quotation. What was that quotation? We have the magnificent book of nature spread out before us, a picture of unsurpassing beauty and charm, the spontaneous and blissful self-expression of the indwelling God. Let us look at it, read in it the glorious presentation and the varied activity of the beloved. Look on the infinite play of the Infinite One, and by deep absorption into the beloved, enjoy immortal joy. This is the goal. All else is ephemeral and not worth striving for. So we are in the market. So He has placed before us. We have to read, look at it, read in it. Variety. Every process has come from where? Even to identify, even to see, to recognize a seed, you need intelligence, to discover. So think about that holy person who, when he saw a paddy, at that time there was no name called paddy, he named it as paddy. And who made him to think about it? He could have seen and kept quiet. So nature, God produced this paddy. He made the individual, prompted him to look at it and read in it. Meaning what? He was prompted to remove the husk. Then again reflection started coming. Why not I taste? Then that led to boiling it, grinding it, and then today we use it in many forms, the rice. The intelligence lying dormant. Buddhir buddhimatam I am the intelligence of the intellect, he says, That prompted him, and today we are enjoying. We are in the market, please don't forget. And this, when we see every produce there, we will gradually connect. So not only recognizing the seed, the origin, but also the process behind it. How many times by trial and error, by perseverance, by commitment to the goal. Suppose he had said, enough is enough, we can't do anything. Nobody is there to guide him, no? But his commitment, which we are all enjoying today, no? If we use any article today, it is all because of this labor of love of umpteen number of people. The customer, I will lose a good trader, no? 100%. We remember one incident. It was in Calicut. Even now it is there. A retired teacher named Suleiman. You know what he does? After his retirement, he took a small shop and he will keep there. The shop will never be closed, even today. He has got a vegetable shop. So on one day, one of our friends wanted to meet him. That is how we came to know about it. So when contacted through mobile, he was not at home. He said, I am in the shop, you can come. So he went to the shop. It was 8 o'clock in the evening. Then as soon as he came, he simply, there was a grill door. He closed it, switched off the light. Yes, we can go home now. So our friend asked him, are we not locking the shop? He said, Kada Bhutarilla. I don't do that. 24 hours, it will be like this. After his job, Veetilim Parampil, that means at home and in the small area he has got. He wants to spend some time. That is why he has opened the shop with this produce. Everybody is allowed to bring their produce, keep it there. Anybody who wants to take it, they take it there. The price list is there, and they will keep the money there, and they go. The wholesale people also will come and keep it there, and then afternoon they will come and take the stock. 4 o'clock he comes back, Suleiman Master. In between, if anybody wants, people will open, take it and then put the money there. And then when they know that this man is normally there between 4 to 5, they will ensure to see that he is there when they take it or when they want to pay. So our friend asked him, do you check up whether they are correctly giving? Whatever they give, we take it. I trust everybody. Suppose somebody is not in a position to give that much. He may not be having it, or he may have money, he may have some better urgency. He may later pay it. After all, he is taking for one time food, and it is for going in. For the past 7 years, this is the style in which he is arranged. So he's then a wonderful concept, It is not a story. For the past 7 years, he has been doing like that in Kaigat. Trusting everybody. When Puja Mataji, when we remember about Puja Mataji, the value that comes in our mind is absence of otherness. Here we find Suleiman Master actually bringing it out in his daily action. Even if somebody puts it, during our VSET period, we had introduced an honesty shop. In every school we tried. All the requisites, pen, paper, pencil, rubber, sharpener, that is needed for students. All those things will be kept in a box with a price list. Any child who wants to take it can take it, put the money there. And before the students go, the leader will come at him and take stock, and he will check the balance and hand it over to the teacher. So one day when one of our volunteers went to a school nearby, that headmistress was very much, dispirited. Had a gloomy face, long face. What happened? Very nice teacher. Yesterday it was counted. It was 5 rupees short. So immediately our volunteer said, 95 people have honored it, no? Only 5% people, either they have forgotten to put it, or they would have decided to put it today. Why don't you take it like that? The teacher, when I went to the school, the teacher told me, though the honesty shop was introduced, the dimension did not strike to me. When there is a shortfall of 1 rupee or 2 rupees or 3 rupees, it was bothering me. Later on only I came to know, I came to recognize that 99% of the people are honest. Only one or two people were not able to strictly go along with it, either due to compulsion or forgetfulness or even for joke. Okay, they would have tried. Not that everybody is trying. Even then it is not named as cheating or exploiting. What a grade. Just imagine. Suppose we try to introduce this everywhere. Suleiman Master exactly did that. We are talking about market, what God teaches us through market. Here is a concrete example. There may be many such Suleiman Masters. Also working, one of our sales representatives reported from one place that the competitor's product was also displayed in the showcase, prominently, So, we drafted out a letter saying that it is unethical because you are the authorized distributor of ours and it should not have been done. The language was very harsh, and finally we requested him not to repeat this. When the letter was typed out and sent to the manager for signature, he called us to his cabin and he said, "Why should we think that he had deliberately done it? No sir, it should not be permitted. Tomorrow he may he has brought it out openly. He may do it, and it will be detrimental to the interest of our company. And if one authorized dealer is allowed, it will slowly spread everywhere." All those things we started telling. He said he heard everything. He said, "Why should you still think that he had done it deliberately? Suppose our product, he has run out of stock and his customer comes, his vehicle is on the road, his job is to somehow satisfy his customer, not necessarily through our own product. He needs the customer now. So he would have sent somebody to get the competitor's product and he would have met the other man. One or two would have kept it. Unfortunately or fortunately, he must have kept it in the showcase. Why don't you do it like that? Why should it not happen like that?" Acha. Now, even if suppose you are deliberately done, as what you said, the first lesson is the customer is always right. Our job is not to widen the gap between us and our dealer. So we should point out in such a way that we don't accuse him. At the same time, we make him to think why we are protesting. So that he will, by himself, he will not do it. Not because we have written. So it has to be touched and kindled in such a way that the decision comes from his side, because he is our customer. We cannot afford to lose him. And water bottles are also there. So many people have come and they were asking, you are preparing tea, giving this. The train, the whistle is almost, the whistle is over. It has started moving. So somebody said, I have taken the tea, you take the, where should I keep the money? He said, You can take the money. Somebody wants water now. I have to give him water. Train is moving. I heard that. The tea shop's man's anxiety to give water to the person rather than coming to this side and receiving this, that sensitivity. Sensitivity to the demands and suffering of the people. We all heard big words, but these are something which gets imprinted in our heart. God is teaching us. You can be honest and sensitive in any field. This is God who is expressing Himself through that. So, self-discipline. These are some of the points that came to us. There could be many dimensions. So when Papa said, I find Him in marketplace, when we try to dwell more and more on it. Now when we go to the market, some of it we will remember, At least one we will remember. In that way we will be able to move closer to Him. The wonderful way in which Papa is leading us now. Connecting us at every moment with His presence. Not merely, we should not limit God to a particular place, particular situation, particular day, particular object. Yesterday we read out, how we should not limit Papa. Normally, that is how we commit that mistake, unknowingly. Not knowingly, unknowingly. I will read it before we all close. Beloved Papa's presence is not only confined to the bhajan hall and home mandir. He is not only all pervasive in this holy Anandashram, but it lives and moves in and through you. You carry His presence when you adhere to truthfulness. You carry His presence when you are kind, considerate and compassionate. You carry His presence when you refuse to swerve even 1 inch from the path of purity. You carry His presence vibrantly, dynamically, forcefully when you live your life in a divine manner with a determination, humble intention, firm resolve, sincerity, earnestness. When you are trying to pursue a divine way of living, in thought, word and action, you are manifesting beloved Papa, God. You are a vibrant center of that which the world knows as beloved Papa Swami Ramdas. You become a lamp through which His light shines. You become the vessel to hold the living waters of His spirituality, His sublime spiritual teachings. Do not therefore confine beloved Papa Swami Ramdas to the bhajan hall, home mandir and Anandashram. Make yourself a vehicle of His living presence so that by your life others also become awake and illumined. They feel His divine presence through your life and their life is also divinized. Move amongst this world of men as the candle imparting your light to anyone whom God brings you in contact with. Mataji put it in a capsule form. Omnipresent Papa's ashram means the whole universe. It is to enable us to learn this that this ashram was established by beloved Papa. So when he says universe, all these things listed by Papa are included in it. Whether it is classroom, whether it is field, whether it is marketplace, whether it is factory, whether it is hills, dales, whether it is ashram also. So everywhere we are to attune ourselves to Him, not limiting to a particular place. Just like not limiting Papa to Anandashram and trying to accept that He is the all-pervading reality, He is the indwelling reality, we are trying to see, at least now intellectually first, to see Him in every creation. So let us all pray to Him. You are taking us step by step, relating ourselves, man with man, man with God, man with the universe. In his first editorial article in The Vision in 1933, he said, this is the aim of the vision, to attune, to become one with man, that which makes man with man with God, man with the universe. So he is making us to make an attempt now through all these fields. Let us all pray to him, because he alone should guide us from within. Otherwise we may again go back to the usual way of seeing it as an object, reacting it with whatever prejudiced view we have. Because from the individual point only we evaluate things, never from the universal standpoint. We pray to him from the bottom of the heart, who is now in the form of remembrance in our heart. Hari Om.